Hey everyone, I'm Vikram Salunke and welcome to the Web Application Penetration Testing and Secure Coding. In the last video, we saw the Burp proxy introduction. Now let's see the request we sent to the web server. Let's get started. This is our Firefox web browser and I have configured the Burp proxy to listen to our connection. And as we can see, the intercept is on. Let's browse vulnerable.app. It is saying connecting. That means the request is currently in the Burp. As we can see, this is a request which was sent to the web server. We'll click on forward. After that, this is a response we got from the web server. Let's click on forward. Let's look at that once again. This is our Firefox web browser and we want to browse vulnerable.app. And this is our Burp proxy. I have configured this Burp proxy to listen to our connection between Firefox web browser to vulnerable.app web server. Now if you want to know how to configure Burp to listen to our connection, then please watch my previous video. I'll give you the link in the I button above. So when we type vulnerable.app into the Firefox web browser, the request first goes to the Burp. After that, when we click on forward, the request goes to the vulnerable.app. Then vulnerable.app sends response back. First it comes to the Burp, and when we click on forward, that response returns to the Firefox web browser. Now let's look at the format of a HTTP message. First there are headers, after that there is a blank line, and after that the message body. Okay, these are the headers. After that there is a blank line, but this HTTP request doesn't have any body. Let's click on forward. After clicking the forward, the request will go to the web server at vulnerable.app. Now we got the response back from the vulnerable.app, and these are the HTTP response headers. After that, as we can see, there is a blank line, and after that this is a message body. And when we click on this forward, the HTTP response will go to the web browser. As we can see here, the response is now into the browser. In this video, we will only look at the HTTP request, and in the next video, we will analyze the HTTP response. First, there is get index.php HTTP 1.1. After that, host vulnerable.app. After that, user agent, then accept language. After that, accept encoding, and after that, connection close. Now let's understand this HTTP request line by line. First, get index.php HTTP 1.1. Let's divide that into the get index.php HTTP 1.1. Now, get is known as a HTTP verb or method. So, get request happens when you type URL and press enter. There are some other HTTP methods also, such as head, post, put, delete, connect, option trace. We'll look at those into the upcoming videos. Next, there is index.php. So, index.php, it is a resource which we are requesting. After that, there is HTTP 1.1. It is a version of a HTTP on which the browser wants to talk. There are some other versions of HTTP also. We'll look at those in upcoming videos. From this point, the HTTP request header will start. In this case, the host is the header name and vulnerable.app is a header value. As we can see in the left side, those are the header names, and in the right hand side, those are the header values. Next is a host vulnerable.app. Host is a header name and a vulnerable.app is a header value. Vulnerable.app is known as the host name. Host name plus path is equal to the full URL. That means vulnerable.app is a host name and index.php is a path becomes a full URL. Next is a user agent. User agent tells the information about the browser. As we can see, this is the information about our Firefox web browser. All browsers have their own unique identification string. This is for Firefox. For Internet Explorer there will be different, for Google Chrome there will be different, and so on. Next is accept. That means it is an accepted document type by a browser. So when a browser sends a request to the web server, It includes the access HTTP request header. It tells the web server that what kind of a document type will be accepted by a web browser. Next is the accepted language. In this case, the web browser tells the web server what kind of a language is accepted here. After that, there is accepted encoding. Browser is telling the web server about the accepted content encoding. Next is a connection close. Connection close means we are closing the connection with the server. From the next time, if the browser wants something else from that same web server, it has to make a new connection request. And if the value of a connection is a keep alive, that means a new request will be made from the same connection. This is the difference between the close and keep alive. Close means for the new request, the new connection will be made, and keep alive means for the new request, the same connection will be used. Now we are in burp proxy and we are sending requests to the vulnerable.app, and as we saw earlier, these are the HTTP request header are sent by the browser to the web server, such as get, host, user agent, accept language, accept encoding, connection close, etc. So that's what I had planned for this video. In the next video, we will see the response coming back from web server to the web browser. Thank you.